Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is more credit feeding fight stickery. This is the second part of my set with Marketman. And he's playing Ken. I'll leave it to your... Oh, that was dirty there. Abusing my lack of throw tech and me expecting something different. That is not a true hit string. Can be punished with SPD. I don't know if he probably knows it. This guy's pretty damn experienced, so I assume he knows it. That was cheeky. Zero respect there. Dash in, SPD, start that vortex, get those mixes. Oh, into crossover. Dropped the combo. Terrible. What am I doing? Ooh. So this is something that I catch a lot against Marky. Ooh, and another dirty empty jump SPD. Trying to work him close to stun. Interesting, I was trying to bait a Dragon Punch. Ooh, crossed me up. Very nice. Connection went fucking weird then, though, and that probably ruined his combo. Have you noticed how the connection only ever goes screwy when you're about to do something cool? It's so frustrating that. We do a little bit of air-to-air. He does... That was his Shoyu cancel into Ultra, which you see a lot of Kens do, but I blocked it, which... Interesting to see him do the full hit confirm then when it didn't hit. I wonder if he's just so used to doing it. I'm sure he'll probably turn up in the comments and elucidate for us. But a couple of fireball trades, I jump over it, he goes for the sweep, but I get the blocking. A couple of low forwards, into throw, tech it finally, Chris. Come on, boy, tech them throws. Goes for that weird step kick, but I think that was the overhead variety, because it does completely... Ooh, again. I don't know if that's lag, that could be lag, folks, because never underestimate lag. Instant overhead, into a second toe tap, into a random Shoyu, into another instant overhead, but he Dragon Punched it and we traded. I was trying a couple of instant overheads against Oni's Dragon Punch today, and it didn't go too well. Wake up Ultra, zero respect, he gets past it with the Tatsu. Ooh, drops the punish though, interesting, but still gets the sweep. So, another round to him, that's 9 victories on the trot there, brutal stuff. And this isn't every fight we had. I picked out the fights where I did kind of okay in, and I know that might sound like a biased view, but there was a lot of fights where I got absolutely destroyed, and a couple of them have made it in if they were quite interesting on Marketman's perspective. But of course, this series would probably be a couple hours long if I put every fight in, and some of them were literally just the most worthless, brutal things, and I've kept some in so that you can see an example of the ones, but for the most, it's generally the ones where I looked like I could fight back rather than just being a kitten getting mauled. And watch this! This is mad confusing, that. I couldn't tell if it was high or low because of the image on Seth's body when it showed like the hit spark thing. I assume that was just a standard crossover, but I was blocking high and getting nothing. That was very bizarre, as he does the bread and butter Goku juggle into that crazy kick Dragon Punch, and takes another quick round from me. But here is Rufus. That crazy, I don't know what that's called, that spinning move, but if he's close enough you can punish it with SPD. Anything else and you might not have the frames to do it. The problem with Seth is his Dragon Punch is 5 frames, which means it's going to lose to a lot of Dragon Punches unless you exploit its invincibility, as he gets a really dangerous stun here, and I managed to mash through the stun and get the SPD. That is about the dirtiest you'll see me, and you'll not see it too often, because I don't get stunned that much. In this session, I got stunned a lot, because Market's just styling on me for many of these videos. But that's cool, that. If you don't know, that move has almost a tandem effect, it sucks you in. And it's deceptively dangerous, but that's what I would say about... Ooh, nice. That's this character in a nutshell. He is deceptively dangerous. His dive kick, I don't know the input for it, but he seems to be able to do it much faster than Seth does. I don't know if it's because you don't need to be at the peak of your jump. I've never played as Rufus. Oh, that was bad. I think I did a different strength then. Or maybe I was just a little bit out of the range. That was a failed cross-up. Pressed the wrong kick there to do that. Interesting choice. Jump back Ultra. And it caught him! Shit! Interesting. That's one of those things where, like, you're hoping it helps, but you have no real faith in. Am I going to do a Sonic Boom into Teleport? No? Wow. I was negative there, and he was getting in with that jab. There's the Shoyu EX. Can we cancel? We can! What do? This time we caught it, and I fucked up the link. That's terrible. Oh, off the wall into heavy. Nice. Fierce kick. That was a failed cancel on the FADC. You can't reach people at the beginning if they don't move with your FADC, so you should always cancel it with Seth. Unless, of course, they're jumping in, and then you can punish the jumping if you manage to land it. Or you can just dash through it and cross under them. Here we goes with the pressure. Dive kick into block string pressure into throw. There was an SBD. There was a throw on landing. I need to be careful of that. A lot of the times when I'm coming out of the sky, I'm getting thrown. And it's a habit I need to kind of reinforce in my brain. That should have been anti-air. Should have DP'd. There was the jumping in a lot. I'm interested to see how that landed. Here I go again, getting a bit crazy with wall jumps and panicking. And then he does his anti-air and it takes me out. Ooh, that move. Kami is vulnerable the entire move up until the end. It's one of those moves that if somebody ever does it close to you, you can punish it with any move in the game. It's just, are you going to respond in the heat of battle with all the adrenaline and whatever's going through your system? Who knows? But that should have been medium tandem and it would have punished. Instead, he managed to get a free hit on me as I was in recovery. I do a wake up dragon punch and the no, why is it always with me? My link! I needed that link! But the lag eats whatever I was going to do. That is not safe, but this is online. Sometimes that's how it works. I learnt a very valuable lesson against Ibuki about online. Attacks that I can block almost guaranteed against a computer that I knew were coming and I still got hit by them. So very dangerous sometimes with that little bit of latency. Walk up and throw, zero respect. And return the favour as it gets a little bit laggy again. Little jumpy. Oh! EX? I don't know the name of that move, but it's her dragon punch. Is it Spiral Arrow? Because her other one's kind of Sprite, isn't it? I don't know the names. She says something stupid. That was a failed SPD because it's getting fucking laggy as shit. There's just a raw ultra, and I can punish this with legs. But apparently, I don't know what that was, because I've punished that dozens of times. Yeah, this is just that point where you're like, what the fuck is going on? Buttons evaporating. I'm afraid to throw a punch. That's one of those fluctuations where it's just like, what is going on? I think it might have settled down. And then he does that, which I didn't even know could go low. I think that's a little bit like the demon flip by Akuma, because there's one of those that goes high, and that was the low variety. So I managed to get him there with a low when he was going for the overhead, but I didn't capitalise it and hit confirm it into something. Pretty sloppy stuff. I'm a little defensive against Akuma. I'm not too sure why. Akuma is one of those matchups where Seth is actually pretty good because he has low HP, he has low stun. It's two glass cannons coming together, and whoever gets that first mix-up, whoever gets, the vortex started, is going to be, in some serious benefits. Ooh! Do I punish it? Finally! Nice! That is a really fun link, but I drop it more than I land it. So it's a really great feeling to see that happening online. Landing that plink on the kick to get the connection. There was a sweep. Market's really good with his sweeps. He's good with the high-low game. He's good with staying neutral. And he very rarely does the jumping panic stuff that you'll notice I do a lot when I'm in a bad spot. There he was again. I could SPD there. Whenever you see Seth do that little effeminate backwards flip, you can do an SPD on landing, and it's one of those moves where if they're pushing you for pressure on that rush down, you'll get them almost every time. There was the attempted whiff punish, but we're just out of range. There's the attempted anti-air. There's the jump attack. Should have anti-aired it. Again. Oh, walk up throw. Thank God I spotted it. That was dirty. Really dirty stuff. Zero respect. Just how I like it. Best way to play, guys. Never assume. Everything goes, everything's permitted. Assassin's Creed, that shit. If it's in the game, use it, and use it to win mercilessly. We don't have none of that honor bullshit that Dark Souls was so full of that I even tried myself to adhere to, and realised after, hearing a lot of mixed reactions to people and just playing the game over time that you can't have these expectations that everybody's going to do stuff like that. People aren't going to wake up Dragon Punch, that people aren't going to wake up Ultra, that people aren't going to do these moves that you don't like. They're in the game for a reason, and they're incredibly powerful. Learn to use them, learn to punish them. That's how you get better. So wake up throw there, toss him into the corner. Do I go for the... Ooh, Demon! Oh, and I backdashed! Why? I had just I had more than enough time to jump that. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I assume I was baiting the Dragon Punch on Wake Up, and he knew, and he punished it with a demon. So that right there was me guessing, making a read, and it failed. I was assuming he'd do a Hadouken, and it didn't happen, so I could go through it with invincibility and start off with a nice legs to push him over to the corner. He gets me with a nice EX Tatsu. Pop him in the air. Do we catch him? We do. And I drop the combo. Oh, it's so painful to watch, but it happens online all the time, that. I should try maybe doing legs. Legs might, he's going to try and throw me. That's what that was. That was me teching because I was afraid he was going to throw me. Because the one thing I noticed with Market is when he gets a couple of those blocks, he can sometimes be a little impatient on getting hits. So he'll come in close because he knows that I'm not doing the techs as well, and he'll try and punish me with a throw. And I think over our sequence of games together, I've got a little better spotting the throws and not being such easy throw fodder. Wow, that was great. EX Demon Flip into that crazy, like, I don't even know what you call that move, but it hurts. This is working on a perfect here. Wake Up Ultra, did he Tatsu over me? Or is he in it? I think he's in it. Oh no, again. EX. Could have been probably a better punish there from him, but you never know what his connection's like. You never know what his experience with Akuma is. I would like to see him maybe do Fierce into those Dragon Punches. I have no idea if you can cancel that with Akuma, but you can with Seth, so I assume he works very similarly. There's a nice Demon Flip. Teleport. Goes for the low into the high Fierce, where he does that stepping double kick, a very powerful mid-range move. That's something never works on Criminal. Teasing out a move to try and trap it with a Shoryuken on landing never works against Criminal, but in these early sets with Market, I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know if he was expecting me to do something different or if he thought he could beat it, but I was able to do it every time, almost. And it was one of those things that was happening so much, I think I should have stopped, because, you know, the one time when you assume it'll work, he punishes you and he does something different, as he goes on a 16-win tear here, guys. 16 fucking wins, wow. See what I mean? You've got to learn to lose before you learn to win, guys, especially in a game that is as complex and as well known as this one. And you might be watching this and thinking that, you know, Marketman looks like an amazing player, and to his credit, I think he's a great player, but he'll openly tell you himself that he thinks that he's not too special, and that's because in the grand scheme of things, there are some really crazy Street Fighter players, guys, and the skill ceiling on this game is so high. You know, get ready to see those losing screens for a while before you even get around. And then when you get around, you get that little bit of confidence, you get that execution confidence, and hopefully you build forward and you can get some wins. Like my set today, I won a handful of times. I felt a lot more comfortable than I am in this, and I feel a lot more proud of my performance than I do in this. This is, you know, kind of embarrassing, but it's also a testament to where I was at this point, and it's a really important step in moving forward and getting better. So he swaps to Evil Ryu, which is another matchup I'm pretty good with, mainly because the computer, and of course the computer does not fight like humans, but the computer can be fucking miserable, guys, with how they punish you. So the good news is, fighting against somebody who isn't infallible is really fun. Not so much the same with the computer sometimes. There's the overhead because he knows I'm blocking low, punishes it well. Does an EX Hadouken there, which was an interesting space for him because I could jump and punish. There's his focus bait, doesn't cancel it though. Jump and Tatsu's over the... Oh, he knew that was coming. And he knows the recovery on that because he's a Dhalsim player whose teleport probably has very similar recovery, so he's just pressing that fierce, getting that really good punish on me. I didn't see if it was counter hit, but if it is, see you later, HP. You know, Seth is one step closer to fainting. There he goes, backing away from the fireball. A couple of crouch fierces to get those stretchy arms out there. Goes for the overhead, and I punish it with a... Oh, can we go in? No. That's painful to watch. That was really nice, that stepping move that goes over low attacks. What's he going to do? Walk up throw, like a boss. Again? No. The balls on this guy, but not even he can test the balls and do the third throw in a row. Oh, we got the stun. Managed to claim the round there with a focus. A lot of people have been telling me that doing focus is perhaps not the best way to maximise damage because of the scaling. If you don't know, folks, focus counts as 2 hits. Everything after a focus attack is going to be scaled pretty heavily. One of the things I've been practicing on is doing neutral jump fierce legs into close standing fierce into fierce legs special, and it does about 380 damage off of standard damage. which is really good, but the problem with it is if your player you're fighting is mashing to get out of the stun, sometimes they can block the attack. Even if you meaty it, they can get out of it. I look at it like this, if I'm going to... Oh, that was a terrible punish there, absolutely terrible. And there was the panic, Shoryu, and the punish appropriately. And here's the Seth mirror, interesting. So you'll notice that Marketman has been brutalising me with almost every character he's picked. He then picked mine, which is an interesting mind game when it's your main, because when you think about it, you know this character more than any other character in the game, because he's yours. And you know what he can do, you know where he's strong, you know where he's weak. And like that right there, we both did tandems at the same time, and mine beat his, because mine was a light tandem. And the light tandem has the fastest startup, which is why that worked. As he gets the Shoryu. Could have done the steps then, but of course he's not a Seth player, he's just mixing up the characters for me. Tandem in closer, gets a jab, goes for a sweep, go for a cross up, do a hit string on the block into SPD, then we can start the mix up. That right there was bad spacing again by myself as he tries to do the overhead. I catch him there with the I forget the name of that move, it's the middle punch in midair. He does tandem on wake up, which is very dangerous, but interesting choice. Tandems me into throw. If I'd have SPD'd there, I'd have beat it, but I didn't, because he was positive to some extent, but not as positive as he can be, and then I chip him out with the Shoryuken. But here comes the main, so this is Market's character, and if you know anything about Dhalsim in this game, it's a tough deal. Anybody that gets close to Dhalsim, if they know what they're doing, Dhalsim's in trouble. However, if you can do what he's doing here, where you use your spacing, you use your mix-ups, you use your teleports, and you use those long limbs, you know, you can do a pretty convincing job of keeping people out. But the moment they get in, your options drastically reduce. What I should be doing here, which I'm not doing, is punishing them long limbs at a distance with focus attacks, the exact same way I did on the Seth mirror, because I knew he knew Seth had those stretchy arms, and at the beginning I read that he was going to do that move. And the computer, if you've played arcade mode, always does that move at the beginning. They either do that, or he'll walk up to you. And if he does that, you can always get a level 1 focus punish on him, which is exactly what I did. But corner into legs. Dhalsim's a little bit floaty, so you've got to delay the steps or you'll miss. Here's the cross-up coming, and I fell for it. He did the throw. Jump, Chris, please jump. Oh, he didn't even do it. That was great, that. He faked the cross-up into just a standard teleport. Comes with a drill kick. I have no idea what that is, what Dhalsim does when he steps up in the air all weird-like, as he dodges my super there. Couldn't tell you if that was a mistake or intentional, but the super is pretty simple stuff. We trade in mid-air, and he beats me. But I reset the streak, so I'm happy with that. We got a round, we got a pair of rounds, and then he picks Gen. So Gen, that right there, it's one of those moves that is very punishable if you block it. I just wasn't blocking it. And there, I think that's an overhead, that like swooping claw. That was such a decisive round from Market, really well played. Comes in, punish him with, oh, I didn't do the legs, I need to stop doing that. That was not good either. Don't know why I didn't do much with that one. Looking at it, I jumped upwards instead of on an angle, which made it difficult to get any momentum to do the additional steps, but it's a bad excuse for something I should have done better. So, a couple of sonic booms. I'm expecting him to bounce off the wall because that's what the computer does with Gen. Like that. I didn't think he would go so far. I thought he'd probably come down on me, but I've never played Gen, so I don't know what he does. If you play me, guys, and you think I'm going to pick somebody but Seth, like if you hate Seth, you don't want to play me, because I play Seth. I will play Seth. I will always play Seth. He's my dude. He's my guy. And even if I suck as him, even if I never get any better, and you know they nerf him even more in another patch, which I don't see coming because this is probably the last year of Ultra on the competitive market, I will still play Seth because he's my boy. And I was playing with Criminal today, and he started mixing it up a little bit, picking other characters, and I'm really curious to see when I do that commentary whether or not he was getting kind of bored of his main, or whether he was just having some fun, or maybe he just wanted... Maybe those characters are characters he's considering playing, I don't know, but you're never going to see me do that. Like, I do not have a pocket anyone. I want to get better with Seth, and even if I lose 1,000 times, it's going to be losing with Seth. And as much as I can curse his HP and his low stun and his teleport with too much recovery and his Dragon Punch that doesn't have any of the invincibility it used to have unless you do the EX or this or that or whatever, it's still going to be me and Seth struggling together to get better, to improve, and hopefully to help the people who are fighting us improve too. Because steel sharpens steel, guys. It comes together, it clashes, and it he gets redefined as something stronger. And I'm hoping that's what's going to happen after we put in a bit more time. But he's back on the Balrog train. I miss my step kicks, which I cannot make excuses for. I get him with a nice crouching fierce. He does a headbutt, which I don't know if he was trying to get me to there, or maybe it was an input error and he was trying to do dashing punch. I'm trying to bait the headbutt. The thing with Balrog, when it's a human who has to do the buffered charge moves, if you teleport, you can make him ruin his charge. If he releases it as you're teleporting, the game will auto-correct and you'll take a fucking charge move to the mouth. And if you're up against somebody who's, you know, really knowledgeable with those charge characters, as I just lose there, even though I was positive, I did a move with too many frames. Should have probably gone crouching short into plink into fierce, then into the leg combo, which I practice nightly. I get like an hour at ridiculous o'clock to put in some practice when I'm busy doing other things. And recently, I've been doing nothing but editing and having some awesome days with my girlfriend. And tomorrow is the 10th, boys, so I've run out of time to be focusing on a lot of the other stuff I've been doing, so might not be able to play too much Street Fighter over that course until I'm all done with what I'm doing. And, you know, it might sound like the funnest thing in the world, you know, getting to play games and getting paid for it, but playing games is only the beginning, folks, and it's the easy part. It's all the other stuff that takes a lot of time, and even the games, dude. You know, some games take a long time to record. Some don't. But here's Balrog. I've tied it up. I don't know why I didn't get the third Shoryu. My hand would be... I dropped it. I do it a lot. I go through phases on this game where certain moves elude me. When I was out... Oh, that was cheeky. Couple of jabs. Walk up throw. Ooh, punish him with the EX Shoryuken. Zero respect. Can't catch him. Don't have enough meter. I would like to see a change with Seth. I would like to see the EX tandem take one of the stock. Because... look at it like this. Scaling is indicative of how many hits, right? Stay with me here, folks. I've not really tested this, but this is my theory anyway. Scaling is indicative of hits. The more hits, the more scaling, the less damage. The Shoryuken by Seth does like 9 additional hits when they're in midair. He does this spinning corkscrew, bum, 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 bum thing, and they're all adding up, and they're all scaling. So if you were to use 2 of your stock to reset it, what are you going to do from there? Are you going to do some kind of, you know, string of links? Maybe you've got an extra bit of stock and you do, you know, something else like an FADC cancel from a level 2 focus into a crumple, into more combos, into legs, into corner, into steps. You've got like 8% on the scaling then, and your moves aren't doing any damage. At the point of that recovery where you pick them up, your scaling is already cutting your damage in half. So it seems like, you know, it's a... I'm not going to say a waste of meter, because sometimes it's all you need to win, but the scaling on it is already so advanced. The best thing to do almost every situation is probably just instant special or triple Shoryuken or something. Like, additionally, I would love for Seth's EX leg move. It's Fireball Invincible, which is great, but aside from that, it does a little bit extra damage, a little bit extra stun maybe, but nothing special. I would like it if it knocked the character neutrally up, so that you could do the step kick combo without needing to be in the corner. I think that would be really, really good for making it more viable to Seth, because you'll notice in these videos, I never do it. I should do, because of the invincibility, and the ability to punish fireballs and punish focus and things, which you can do with the normal attack, but I don't. And if it worked that way, I'd do it a lot more. And as it stands, if you ever see me do focus legs in a hit string, I'm doing it wrong. You know, I'm pressing the wrong button. But thank you very much for watching. I hope it wasn't too brutal to watch. It was pretty tough at times, but we're learning, we're improving. We'll be better tomorrow, we'll be better the day after, and in a year, who knows where we'll be. Thank you for watching. You take care now.